Okay, congratulations again. So now that you've been through the program, you went through quite a few iterations. You did it gracefully. Um, can you tell me what you liked about the course?
Oh my gosh. Um, I don't know what I didn't like.
Ah, great.
Honestly, I really like the way the material was organized, the videos, how in depth the information was, the quizzes. Sometimes they were pretty challenging and really made you go back and dig through the information, which I think was good. What else? The mentorship really helped a whole lot. And the home, yeah, it really did. And it really made the class. I think without having that, it would have felt much more lost or felt lost in a lot of ways. The homeworks I thought were amazing. The scenarios and made you think through and process through and come up with the answers just the way you would if you're working with somebody. Yeah,
Great.
yeah, and the calls, even though I really couldn't join them, only join one, it was very fascinating and a big learning experience whenever I did get the chance to go back and watch them or listen to them, and yeah.
So much information.
Uh,
It's overwhelming to me sometimes. I just have to go stop,
yeah,
stop. My brain won't take all this in. I don't know how Dr. Ruth does all that she does. It's just
I know.
crazy what all she's into. Just every time we speak to her, she's moved someplace else and she's talked to someone else and has another
Yeah,
thing in the
the work,
works.
amazing.
Wow, it's pretty awesome to be in that wake. We're just riding her.
Yeah.
She's making the waves for us, so that's really awesome.
Mhm.
Um, how can you see where the program could be improved?
Gosh, that's hard. It just seems to be so well thought out and well put together. And I guess the hardest thing, like you said, is the different transitions as going along. And maybe for those of us who, and I really, I guess it's something we need to do on our own. But if those of us who struggled with the technological part of it and this, that would maybe be helpful if there was, I know that she has her tech people or whatever. So I guess they're there if you have help and need help. And you helped me through a whole lot of it. So maybe something in that area for people who are more not as aware of how to use some of the technology and stuff. Like I've struggled some with the Google Drive and with the different things like that, the jot form and things. So maybe somehow some kind of help with that kind of thing. And maybe like the one of the really overwhelming things was I think like the second one where there was so much business information and maybe a little bit more of help like walking through some of those things. 'Cause, yeah,
That's information for me to know where I can improve with mentoring because that's what I need to pay attention to is where people struggle. And if I can head that off at the pass
mhm,
and talk about the technology and talk about the business stuff,
mhm,
the deal with me and you is that I you were like you were my very were you my very first student?
I think so. I
I
think
think you were my very first student. So we learned
together,
together how to
which
do
was
this.
totally fine. And then some people may be really strong in that area and not so strong as learning the medical stuff.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
just hard to say.
yeah. And I learned a lot with your help. And now when people come into the program, I I'm way more clear about what is expected of them technology wise.
Mhm.
And we go through the modules on the very first call. I don't want to overwhelm them, but excuse me, I
Mhm.
got a tickle in my throat.
Uh-huh.
Um, but we'll go through module 1 and 2 on the very first call to hopefully help them with the technology. And I've gotten to where on for homework 1, I'll do screenshots of my Google account and my Calendly and my Zoom account, and then I'll paste it. I'll show them how to paste it into a Word doc, and then I'll save it, and then I'll open up the way the homework's being done now. I appreciate you reiterating that's a good practice, but it's holding holding their hand. But a lot of these people have the passion for pets, but they don't have the passion for IT.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Great. So, what would you say to someone asking if they would recommend the program or if you would recommend the
But
program? Sorry.
I think it was wonderful. I think it was a tremendous learning experience and something that is needed. I would tell them, get ready. Don't think it's going to be easy. you know? And like I said, different people are going to have their challenges in different areas. But, if it's something somebody's interested in, I would definitely think that it's a good thing to do. And they also have to realize there is a business aspect to it. In order to make it successful, if it's something you want, if it's something you want to just learn on your own, then you don't have to worry about that side of it. But it is a big commitment on a business side of it, depending on what you want to make it into. Too.
That's you led into my next question. Are you going to do a business at some point? I know you have a job right now, but are you just going to do it on the side with your pimp stuff?
I'm gonna try to do some on the side right now. Honestly, where I work has it was been on the slow side for all through COVID and for quite a while afterwards. And now we're getting busier. And honestly, right now we're really busy, and I haven't even been getting out of there on time. And then I do all the office work for my husband, who's self employed, and he'd been pretty slow. And now he's starting to pick up. So I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I can even fit this in at the moment. And I also, like I said, I feel like I just need a break from life at the moment. So I'm like, you know what, right now I'm just gonna not push myself in that direction, just give myself a little bit of a break. I also want to go back and review some stuff on my own time. It I don't know where it's gonna go. I can't give up my job right now, but I'm thinking if things get slow again, this is something I can try to bump up. If I think it would be especially really cool to do when I do decide to retire from my job. That may be when I'm really able to get the ball rolling with it. I'm glad I did it, but I don't think it's something I unfortunately am going to be able to devote a ton of time to right now because I'm not in a position where I can make this kind of transition from my job into this. And mostly, especially also because my husband is self employed and hit rock bottom with his business during COVID and stuff. And I just can't take a chance of
Get it.
getting out. Right.
I still have my part-time job that I
Right.
can't seem to let go of. So
Right.
it's scary. It's super scary. So I understand. The people that you have worked with in the sharing some of the information that you learned
Mhm.
from the course, have you had any realized any successes with some of your clients or your practice clients?
The one girl, Gianna, she hasn't really brought anything up, and I think she wanted to learn things, but she also, I don't think, really wanted to make a lot of changes. Apparently she really was looking for reducing her dog's anxiety, and I gave her the suggestions. I didn't get, once we got into it, like a really good vibe back from her as to wanting to really try much. Hey, I don't know. I know Chrissy, she's more open-minded, and unfortunately not so much, although she did add a lot of fresh food to her dog's diet, but she's not in a position to do the all-out cooking right now. Both of them are young, both of them are pregnant. They're they got a lot on their plate right now. But Chrissy definitely is trying different suggestions that I have for her and stuff. So
Man,
the one woman that I helped outside of that, who contacted me, that I'm good friends with, and was like, "Oh my God, my dog just got diagnosed with brain cancer, and I want to make the rest of her days as comfortable as possible. I want to do whatever I can." I gave her a bunch of information, and she had already been considering changing to home cooking. So she just jumped in with both feet and changed to the home cooking. She had two other dogs also, and she put her dog on the CBD and the mushrooms and the omega-3 oil and the vitamin mineral supplement. I think that's all that she did, but also changed to the home cooking. And she said, I just want the rest of her time. I know I'm going to lose her, but I just want the rest of her days to be as good as they can be. And she lasted, I think, around 2 months, and she did great up until the day that she just started having frequent seizures in one day. And she said, I'm not doing this to her, and took her that day and had her put to sleep. But she got what she wanted. She said there were no signs that the dog was suffering or had anything wrong with her, other than some side effects from the pharmaceuticals she was on, with frequent urination and thirst and stuff like that with the steroids. But she really did get what she wanted. The dog seemed happy, comfortable, acting normal up until that last day. So,
oh, that's
yeah,
wonderful to hear. And it's so awful when
yeah,
it's that time.
yeah. Yeah, and we're seeing changes in our 17-and-a-half-year-old dog now. So we're
Mm.
going through it. She's slowing down and starting to have days where she's just doesn't seem great. She doesn't seem horrible, but not great. But the last 3 weeks, she's not been finishing her meals and getting really picky with her meals. And she'll just turn her nose up and walk away, and we're struggling. What can we do to entice her to eat today? And how much is
Yeah.
she going to eat today? And yeah, she hasn't maybe finished a meal twice in the last 3 weeks. So
Oh, I'm so sorry. But
yeah,
17 and a half,
it was amazing. And
it is
mobility,
wonderful.
yeah, mobility wise, she's still amazing. She's still great.
Is this your greyhound?
No, it's the little rat terrier mix.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, the greyhound just turned 6. So
Okay. Yeah, their lifespans are a little shorter. So I'm like, oh my,
yeah.
if it
No,
were the greyhound.
actually they say they're generally 11 to 13 years they live,
Okay.
and some even into 14. But yeah, for a big
Fantastic.
dog, that's not like a super, it's not what you would, as bad as you would think usually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
That sounds like some success stories to me.
yeah. Uh-huh.
It's been a delightful getting to know you and helping you through the course. And anytime, my contact information if you have any
Okay.
questions.
All right. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you. Take care.
You too. Bye bye.